I'd like to do a review of the book of Job. You might ask yourself, well, why would you do a review of the book of Job? And the reason is because I believe it's absolutely contemporary and vital that we think about the book of Job today. And I'm going to explain why and how it actually applies to many people around us in this pandemic period with COVID and hopefully, God willing, the post-pandemic period with COVID, it shall end. Job is a book which we automatically think of as one of the oldest books in the Bible, and yet probably it is the oldest in the sense that Job was a contemporary of Abraham. Genesis clearly talks about the first things, and yet it was, I believe, written by Moses. So this is a very, very old book, and how curious it should be that probably the oldest written book in the Bible should be so important in our modern age. Why is that? Well, it's because the book of Job deals with all of the negative human emotions, and over chapter after chapter after chapter, it searches through pain, loss, sorrow, despair, to the point of destruction, even where Job's wife says to him, just end it all, and that ultimate auto-destruction. And yet Job does not, thanks be to God. However, all of these human emotions that people today are feeling, anger, rage, frustration. You see, there are many people who will probably identify very strongly with Job during this period. Sadly, people have been robbed of their health. Others have been robbed of their economic well-being. People are losing their houses, they're losing their livelihoods, and they are wondering why, who is doing this to me, who is responsible? And they are wondering, how can I continue, how can I carry on? And I'm sure that if you presented Job to many such people in our world today, they would identify oh so fully with him, his separation, his sense of loss. And yet the most exciting thing about the book of Job is not that it leaves Job in his suffering and his difficulties, but there is restoration. And with restoration, there is hope fulfilled. And so for many of the people around us who are suffering, many without the Lord Jesus Christ, there is a sense of hopelessness. There is wondering where to turn. And as Job tells us, I know that my Redeemer lives. And so we can turn people to the Redeemer of Job. The Redeemer of Job is the Lord Jesus Christ, ultimately, the second person of the Trinity. And so there is a wonderful sense in which the book of Job is absolutely for today. Therefore, I would like to encourage each of us to read it, to think about it through the eyes of COVID pandemic people and post-COVID pandemic people, looking for answers and things which will help those around us to actually come to know the Redeemer who Job knew.